and he's Assistant Manager, Energy Efficiency Regulation with the Energy Commission. Mr. Hubert Nsoh Zan, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
I'll try to reach you. We'll talk about that one after the conversation. But I have some second-hand dealers, members with me in the studios of Love 99.5. Mr. Zan, what they are saying is that there was not much consultation, and that this ban on the importation of second-hand, electrical appliances will not wash now, because the first test or survey was done in 2003. They agreed that during the time the refrigerators and the television sets that they were bringing in, they don't meet the standards. But as we speak, they have improved upon the things that they bring down, and therefore this ban is not needed according to them. So first of all, have you engaged well enough to them, and do you think it is prudent to use a 2003 survey to apply now?
Okay, so thank you very much, and good morning to the members in your studio. I think just for the purpose of education and also to your cherished listeners, what we have done is nothing new. And of course, we keep on hearing that we are using a 2003 survey to be able to make a justification. That is also because these regulations that we are passing is nothing new. It started way back in 2005 when we came up with standards and labeling for air conditioners. In 2009, we passed the same regulations for refrigerators. I'm sure you will see these yellow labels on fridges and AC when you go to town. Obviously, this was the regulation that allowed us to be able to do that. In 2008, we also banned the importation of used fridges and used air conditioners that were obsolete. Now, you realize that what we were doing was in phases. We started with these appliances, and now we are in the second phase of enforcement. And enforcement meaning that we are adding up to the regulations. And so as far back as 2005, dealers of these products were aware that we will get to a stage where more appliances will be added onto these regulations that we had set the minimum performance standards for. So in terms of awareness, we started creating it from the first day the first regulation was passed on standards and labeling. Now, what have we done that is different? As far as Energy Commission is concerned, technology is also taking place. And as a regulator, you don't need to sit down and let technology be far ahead of you. And so we engage GUTA and its members, because we are not able to tell who individual importers are. Today, you can be an importer, I can also be an importer. And so it was just in order that we met the union groups, and of course, GUTA had its members present. The issues were raised to them, but their major concern was that the used second-hand products that they were importing were more durable than even the brand new ones that were coming in. And of course, these assertions can be made only because you don't have regulations setting the minimum performance standard. So anyone at all can travel to Europe or China and go and bring brand new products which are substandard. And that is what everybody must bear in mind. Let's not take position to say we are just the used ones are not coming. We are saying even the brand new ones which do not meet the minimum energy performance standard will not be allowed into the country. And this was the assertion GUTA made.
So indulge me, Hubert. Indulge me, please. I'm happy you touched on the fact that we have advanced in terms of technology. And I'm happy that you also touched on some of the things that they themselves have raised, that some of the things that they bring in have a higher quality than some of the brand new ones on the market. And I can attest to it that there are some electrical appliances that I have bought that have served me better than a brand new one that I bought. But that aside, what prevents the Energy Commission from conducting another survey to check out what is on the market? I ask this because there are occasions you might see some televisions that may have come in as other store rejects or may have come in as second hand. You go to a shop where they are selling brand new television sets, for example, and you see the same thing in the shop, packaged well in the shop. So why don't we do another survey just to have a clear conscience as to whether they are importing the wrong ones or the right ones?
Well, just to be fair, that is exactly what we have done. the law is setting the minimum energy performance of appliances. And so, as a regulator, we are not taking positions. We are saying that anyone, or that is what the law is saying, anyone who deals in these electrical appliances and intends to sell them in the Ghanaian market must make sure that he brings a performance test report on the product to indicate that they meet the minimum performance standard. And the law is very clear on what the provisions are. Regulation 1 talks about the purpose of the regulation. Regulation 3 talks about the duty to comply with the minimum energy performance standard. And Regulation 4 is what prohibits appliances that do not meet the minimum energy performance standard.
If you said the importer should bring a certificate or something that will prove that it meets the standards, how do that importer get this? And I'm asking this because I'm having at the back of my mind the law that you keep quoting. Is it the law based on the survey done some 18 years ago, 2003, or a new law that is applying now?
Well, I don't want to go out and be talking about 18 years ago. I mean, even today, if you just check online, there are available literature on the effects of substances.
Mr. Nsoh Zan, you would agree with me that over the years there has been some improvement on some of the things they bring in. If we all agree on that, then there should be a concern or a worry with a survey conducted some years ago.
So exactly. So we are saying the only way to prove that is to provide the technical documentation. Ghana Standards Authority have come up with the standards. Energy Commission has adapted the standards and come up with the regulation. The regulation is saying that any product coming into the country must meet the minimum energy performance standard. So the onus is on the importer who is bringing in these products into the country to submit it. And you see, this is nothing new. If I am producing drugs in this country, or I'm about to import drugs, I need to get clearance from the Food and Drugs Authority.
Mr. Zan, I hear you on the hold on for me. So what he is saying is that although there's a ban, there's a small window of opportunity for you dealers and your importers to be able to still bring in some of these products if they meet the required standards. What is a big deal?
Thank you, sir. Then what's the meaning of the ban? And not
no, some of the thing does not meet the required standards. But that's why I'm saying that according to what Mr. Nsoh Zan is saying, they've given you a room to operate. So if you believe that the things that you are bringing in, be it store rejects or second hand, but they meet the required standards. And I read something to you a while ago, where from 2005 we have started enforcing the minimum energy performance, and like he said, the labeling, the yellow thing that we have there. If you think that the things that you are bringing in meets these requirements, and you have certification from the Standards Authority, you are good to go. So why don't you make sure that the things that you are bringing in meets the standards that is being talked about?
Well, the whole question is, let me ask one question. Do you think...
Can you answer my question before you ask a question, please?
I'm answering the question with my question. Do you think Europe will produce gadgets that will be substandard than our standards?
They will not, but it depends on who is bringing what in. If I may, it depends on who is bringing what in. If what you are bringing in is what is being used in Europe and it meets the standards in Europe, Mr. Nsoh Zan is telling you that you don't have a problem.
So, are you telling me that the assets or the